Shut up and sit down.
All right, guys, Adam Jajeski back again for DFS Datalytics. Let's get into Thursday night's edition of the NHL Starting Lineup. At center, I have Patrice Bergeron from the Boston Bruins. He had an abysmal start to the season, but he has been heating up of late and has 8 points in his last 5 games. And with the drama that went down with the team this week, with the firing of Claude Julien, I can see Bergeron having a real good game because he's one of the leaders of the team, and they're in transition right now, so I can see him really stepping up and wanting to lead this team to a win tonight. Boston, ironically, has been very, very good if you look at the fancy stats. Obviously, I know the wins aren't there, the points aren't there that they want, but this is a team that's played very well all season long, especially the first line, which obviously is centered by Patrice Bergeron. We have them projected tonight to be the third highest pace at 65.3 Corsi, and with Anton Khudobin in net, this thing may turn into a shootout, and if it does, that obviously means Boston needs to play faster, and if Boston plays faster, that feeds right into Bergeron being a great play at his price. So at center tonight, I have Patrice Bergeron from the Bruins. On the wing, let's go with TJ Oshie from the Washington Capitals. A lot of times Oshie gets overlooked simply playing on the other wing from Ovechkin, and if you're sniffing around the Capitals, a lot of times the decision comes down to, do I take Ovi or not, or do I try to take the pieces around him, benefit on his goal scoring? But Oshie sort of had he's been under the radar this season, but he does have 20 points in 23 home games. He actually has 6 goals in his last 10 games, and he's right around his career-high points pace right now. He does have 35 points through 44 games. He is our third highest projected winger on DraftKings. He's our fourth highest projected winger on FanDuel. And if you haven't noticed, Washington has actually scored 5+ goals, 43 in total over their last 9 home games. So unless Peter Mrazek totally stands on his head again, like he did a few nights back, this is going to be a blowout for Washington, and you can expect Oshie to be part of the blowout. On the other side, let's go with Chris Kunitz from the Pittsburgh Penguins. I totally understand his skills have deteriorated, and the only reason I'm suggesting him here is simply because he's playing with Crosby, and that's a factor you simply can't ignore. He does play a game similar to Connor Sheary, so he was Sheary before Sheary came along. His game complements Sid very well. He can go sort of do the things and dig the puck under the corner and stuff like that. And since Sheary's injury, Kunitz does have 3 points in his last 2 games. He's going to get you about 16, 17 minutes and a road date against Colorado, and we have Pittsburgh projected for the highest total number of goals for the night. You can't go wrong with Kunitz at his price on Crosby's wing. Back on D, let's go with Seth Jones from the Columbus Blue Jackets. As Werenski sort of hit the rookie wall, Seth Jones sort of stepped back in and reasserted himself as a very effective player on the blue line for the Jackets. Over the last 5 games, he does have 6 points along with 17 shots, and he's played 25-plus minutes in 8 of the last 9 games, so he's going to have the ice time tonight against Vancouver, and we do have the Jackets projected as the second highest goal-scoring team tonight at just a shade under 4 goals. So I love Jones. I love his price. Take him and lock him in. At the other D spot, let's go with Ivan Provorov from the Philadelphia Flyers. Over the last 5 games, he does have 28 shots and block shots combined, so his peripheral stats are there, even if his scoring stats have not. Shane Gostisbehere has sort of wavered back and forth between being in the lineup and being a healthy scratch, and Provorov has really stepped up his game and sort of filled that void that the Ghost gave us all last year. He has played 24 or more minutes in the last 3 games, and even though the Islanders are improved from where they were and they look a little better after they fired Capuano, we still project Philly to have the highest pace of any team of the night. If you take a look at the fancy stats, the Islanders have the very worst in the league, Corsi allowed on the road. So we think this is probably going to be an up-tempo game. I would not be surprised to see this thing 5-4. And at Provorov's price, he can fit in nicely to your lineups, especially if you're playing on draft day. $7,600 is almost free. So take Provorov, expect a couple of shots out of him, and if he gets on the score sheet, that's a bonus. But he's a really nice play for his price. In net, let's go with Sergei Bobrovsky of the Columbus Blue Jackets. And just for the purpose to give you variety, I'm never going to suggest 2 skaters from the same team unless I take a goalie and a position player. But Bobrovsky is 17-5 on the season at home with a 1.92 goals against. So his numbers there have been stellar, even though he's sort of struggled in the last couple of games. allowing 4 goals in 4 straight before his last outing. But we do have him projected as the second lowest goals allowed tonight at 1.83. And in all situation offense, Vancouver is 27th in NHL in goals forced on the road. So this should be a game that the Jackets should win. He's a pretty heavy Vegas favorite. I do like to play much more on FanDuel than I do on DraftKings. On DraftKings, he's actually the second highest priced goalie of the night. But he fits in sort of in a nice range on FanDuel, so he's definitely my goalie play there. That'll do it for another edition of the NHL Starting Lineup by DFS Datalytics. Hit us up on the web at dfsdatalytics.com. Hit the membership page and take advantage of our rest of season offer for just $50. Or hit us up on Twitter at dfsdatalytics.com. Good luck tonight.